Hello guys. Hi everyone joining, thank you so much. Happy Friday. My name is Lucy. I normally teach over at Bank at 6 p.m. This Friday is a little stranger for all of you guys joining me. I'm normally surrounded in the Bank studio by a ton of students, and the site this evening in my home, it looks a little bit different, a little sadder, but I'm super excited to be here with you guys, although through the screen. To flow your way into the weekend. Two things before we start. One of which, I popped a playlist on my Instagram at Lucy Maria Hill if anybody wants to listen to that as we move. Music is a super big part of my practice and I love sharing it with you guys. So if you're not quite there, perhaps pop it on another audio device at Lucy Maria Hill in my stories. The second thing, it feels super weird for me to be up here demoing because I talk so much in my practice about how important it is that you feel your way into the pose, and how actually it's not important at all what it looks like. And so I encourage you this evening, if you can, try to zone out of what I'm doing up there and just listen to my voice. Allow your body to explore the practice, and don't worry about looking for validation that you're doing it right. Whatever you're doing is exactly what you need to be doing for your body this evening. Okay, I'm gonna stop waffling, we're gonna start. I want you guys to come down to child's pose. I'm gonna stay seated. Come on down to child's. Spread the arms out nice and wide, sink the seat back to the heels. And if you find that your seat doesn't quite reach your heels, you may choose to place books in replacement of blocks in that space, or maybe cushions as well. And then just allow the body to start to settle here. We're going to take a couple of moments to be still, slow everything down. If you're like me, you've probably lost track of what day it is right now. So we're just going to bring ourselves back into the present. Closing the eyes. And just taking some time to come to your stillness. Beginning to focus on the sound of your natural breath. So no need to change anything about the way the breath is moving just yet. Just see if you can observe how that breath is moving into the nose and where it lands in the body. And how it feels as you exhale out of the nose. And for some of you, it may be slightly more shallow up in your chest. For others, much deeper down in your belly. And then starting now to become aware of the physical body. And just seeing how even in your stillness you may be able to notice subtle sensations or maybe a dull vibration that seems to move through the sheaths of your body. And likely if you're now on day 5 of your isolation, you may notice there's a little bit of stiffness happening, perhaps in the hip flexors, maybe in the shoulders. And now coming to acknowledge the mind. And how loud, or perhaps quiet, is the chitta vritti, the mind stuff, or the mind chatter, the fluctuations of our mind. How loud is that for you right now? And if you're like me, this week has been incredibly triggering in a lot of ways. You might find that you are very busy up in the mind, a lot going on. Just be okay with that without any kind of judgments. Begin to swallow any excess saliva in your mouth, and then take a slow, full breath into the nose. Open the mouth and sigh it out. Deep breath into the nose. Sigh the breath through the mouth. Slowing it down, inhale. And letting it all go. And then just allow that breath to return to a more consistent breath pattern. So you may choose inhaling 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale 1, 2, 3, 4. Inhale for 1, 2, 3, 4, and exhale. 1, 2, 3, 4. And continuing now with that breath and starting to move into that intuitive body, so really listening to when you're ready to move. Start to gently draw yourself forward to meet your tabletop here, tabletop. Shoulders are stacking directly below the wrists. Notice the hips are stacked above the knees, but just take your time here to take a couple of movements, explore how you're balancing the weight across every contact point with your mat, not only the hands and the knees, but also notice how you're connecting shins with mats, tops of your feet with your mats, and really allow every bit of body to explore the whole four corners of your mat space. And then gradually arrive back to a neutral spine. As you next inhale, we start to draw the heart forward over the wrists. On the exhale, we take a 90-degree bend with your elbows, chaturanga through those elbows. As you continue to exhale, press back through your child's pose. And as you're next breathing in, we dome through the spine, bringing yourself back to neutral tabletop. We continue that motion again. Inhale forwards. Exhale 90 degrees with those elbows, pushing back child's pose. Inhaling forward, doming protraction through the spine as you bring yourself back. And start to continue yourself through that motion, finding your rhythmic breath, rhythmic body, as you link all of those movements together. No rush, you take it as slow as the breath is moving through the nose. And perhaps you start to get a little bit more fluid or funky with your movement. You allow there to be a sense of freedom in that movement, worrying less about what this looks like here, all about how it feels. And then gradually arrive back to your neutral spine, tabletop, tuck your toes and tuck your tailbone, engaging the belly to the spine. Take a full breath in. On the exhale, we press into the feet, hover the knees an inch from your mat, floating tabletop. Now start to breathe here. Filling the muscles with pranayama, our oxygen breath. Take a full breath in with me. Open the mouth, sigh out. Downward facing dog. Allow the tailbone to lift. Pedal out through the feet and start to take any movement here necessary. There really is no rule book as to what you take to allow the body to arrive in this space. So really whatever it is you need, especially if you've been sitting at your desk all of this week like me in my house, sitting at my kitchen table. It's been a little stuffy up in here, so start to find some space. And then setting yourself up in that downward facing dog. Separate the feet hip width apart. Maybe for those of you like me where the hamstrings are a little tighter and therefore the heels don't touch the floor, you take a bend in the knees, roll the tailbone higher, draw the belly in and up, and soften the shoulders down and back. Take a full breath into the nose. Open the mouth as you ground. And then seal the lips now, guys, as we start to find our rhythmic Ujjayi breath here together. Inhaling into the nose for 1. Exhale through the nose. Inhale for 2. And exhale. Full breath for 3. And exhale, bending through the knees, look forward without craning your neck. Step, hop, or float the feet to the top of your mat. Inhale to a halfway lift. Shoulders are drawing back. Your gaze, if your eyes are open, is somewhere down between your toes, so you find that elongation right the way through the back of the neck. Exhale as you softly bend the knees, release belly back to thighs. Gently sway the head side to side. In your own time now, with soft knees, start to unroll through the spine, one vertebra at a time. And if you reach the very top of that unroll. Before I do, ask yourself why the rush. Slow yourself down. As you reach the very top, use your inhale to sweep the hands all the way overhead to the sky. Grow long out of your fingers. Exhale, hands to heart. Close the eyes. Take a moment here to set an intention for your practice ahead this evening. And maybe for those of you that struggle with setting an intention, you're not quite sure where to send your intention, maybe you choose for it to be as simple as focusing on the sound of your breath moving through your body as we flow tonight. Let's seal that intention with a breath in. Open the mouth, gentle sigh, let it go. You choose now, maybe the eyes blink open, maybe they stay closed. Let's take Surya Namaskar A together as we get a little fluidity into the body. As you breathe in, the hands sweep long to the sky. Exhale, soft knees forward, fold all the way down to meet your mat. Inhale, halfway lift, long neck. Exhale, step or float, your choice, high to plank, and we stay here. Drive the heels to the very back of the room as your heart moves forward. Pressing the hands deep into the mat, you find that sense of protraction doming through the shoulders. Inhale with me here. On the exhale, option 1 is to modify your knees to the mat, and you take your modified chaturanga. Inhale, sliding forward into your upward dog. Option 2, from that high plank, chaturanga dandasana, we come forward over the fingertips, 90 with those elbows. Flip the feet, inhale. We all meet back, Adho Mukha Svanasana, downward facing dog. Inhale together. Long breath out. Bend the knees, look forward, step hop, or float yourself to the top of your mat, halfway rise. As you breathe in, exhale, soft knees, belly to thighs. Hands sweep long overhead as you breathe it in. Exhale, melting back to your mat. Finding your rhythm now, inhale halfway. Exhale, plank. Your choice how you start to take these vinyasas. Inhale to lift the chest. Maybe you're still in cobra and that's okay as well. Exhale, tuck the toes. Releasing tailbone high, downward dog. Inhale, 1. Long breath out. Bending the knees. Step or fly, top of your mat. Halfway rise, lengthen through the spine. Exhale to release. Inhale, tall, the hands rise to the ceiling, grow long out of your fingers. Exhale, melting all the way back to your mat. In your own breath, guys, we all meet back. Adho Mukha, downward dog. When you meet that downward dog, start to find 3 breaths here together. We inhale. Slow that breath down on the exhale. Inhale, 2. Long breath out. Full breath in for 3, zipping up through the inner thighs. Long breath out. And on the next inhale, as slowly as you can, start to unroll the spine forward, 1 vertebra at a time through your high plank. Slow it down, visualize you're unrolling 1 little bit of spine at a time. And when you finally arrive, bring your feet to touch at the very back of your mat. You're pressing your heels toward the back of the room, so you're activating whole posterior chain back body strength. Right hand then finds the center. We roll to the blade of the right foot, side plank. Left hand finds the sky. Now notice as you're arriving here, are you dipping through that underneath hip? Can you rise it higher? Perhaps by switching on the glutes, maybe by drawing the belly button into the spine. Remember, if this is too much, underneath knee can be on your mat. Left fingertips are reaching for the ceiling. We transition here together, guys. Wherever you are, maybe high plank or modified, start to squeeze your left knee towards your chest. From here, we find a hold at the left big toe with left peace fingers. As slowly as you can now, step that left foot to the very top of your mat. Hopefully, fingers crossed, you arrive to a low lunge. As you next breathe in, the hands will sweep long overhead to the sky. Soft into that lunge, shoulders are releasing back and down. Start to breathe. Allowing all of that body weight to sink layer by layer through that right hip flexor. The shoulders are soft here, so no clamping shoulders to ears. Take a full breath in with me. On the exhale, ground into your right big toes and lift the back knee so you arrive to your high lunge. The hands will then release from that bind. You have a little bit of freedom in the shoulders. And if you know that you naturally have a slightly curvier lower back, you may choose to take a soft bend in that back knee, just so you're not quite so heavy, dumping weight into the lower spine. Take a full breath in together. Exhale, lunge a little deeper into the legs. We're now going to take some shoulder rolls with the arms. So inhale, reaching higher with the fingers. As you exhale, we circle wide with the shoulders. Start to create some mobility in that shoulder cuff. Maybe now the legs are waking up and you can start to breathe into your sensation. One more inhale, circle high. Exhale, the hands will then sweep long and forward, arriving into your arrowhead. So you're looking to find the flattest spine that you can in space. Draw the shoulders back, fingers are reaching forward. This is where your breath needs to meet all of your sensations in the body. Take a full breath in together. On the exhale, we fly warrior 3 as the hands find your heart. And as you meet that warrior, notice what the right hip is doing. Square it closed. Come back to the breath, hands pressing firmly at your heart to activate chest. Full breath in together, guys. On the exhale, right foot will meet the left, bending through the knees. We lift the hands, chair pose, Utkatasana. Now start to allow all of that body weight to sink deep into the backs of the leg heels, maybe so much so that you allow all 10 toes to rise from your mat. Inhale together. Exhale, forward fold. Hopefully we're all a little warmer now. Inhale halfway. Your choice how you vinyasa, step, float. Fly yourself back. We all meet downward facing dog. Inhale for 1. And exhale, let it go. Inhale longer for 2. And exhale. Full breath for 3. And exhale. As you next breathe in, we unroll the spine all the way forward. Slow yourself down. Every vertebra is gliding you forward. The feet then come to touch at the very back of your mat. Left hand will find the center, side plank. We roll to the blade of the left foot. Remember your underneath knee can be connected to the earth. Can you start to send your breath into your upward rib cage? So it's like a balloon carrying you a little higher to the sky. Okay, we transition from here together. Right knee will pull all the way towards your chest. See if you can catch that right big toe. Whether you're in high plank or not, we step that foot to the top of your mat. Hopefully you're with me. We're in that low lunge. As you next inhale, check right knee is stacked over the ankle. We sweep hands to the sky, Anjaneyasana. Soften weights deep into the right leg. Maybe allowing the shoulders to roll up, back, and then down the spine as you find a little more breathing space between each of your ribs. We inhale together. On the exhale, tuck your back toes, lift the back knee, and arrive into your high crescent lunge. For those of you with a bendier spine, again, you find that soft back knee. Release the bind of your hands as you release the shoulders. As you breathe in, lift the hands. Exhale, we find those circles wide into the shoulders. Deep sense of mobility. However you need to move, guys, this can be free. Doesn't have to look pretty. You can be soft. You can be strong. It does not matter. Take one more. This time as you exhale, the hands sweep forward. You find that arrowhead. Now as you hold here in this arrowhead, see if you can find that 4-point corner pressure through the base of your right foot. Inhale with me together. On the exhale, hands to heart, we fly Virabhadrasana 3. And as you meet that warrior, notice here how long you can grow from the crown of your head all the way through to your back heel. Slow the breath. Full breath in together, grow a little bit longer. Exhale, left foot meets your right. Deep bend of those knees, chair pose. Utkatasana, sinking seat deep into those heels. And just notice here, often when we're in this chair, we start to think our gaze needs to be lifted to the sky. Notice if you bring your gaze down to your mat, how you can find that sense of length through the back of your neck. Okay. Inhale with me together. On the exhale, this time we rock our weight into the toes. Heels are lifted high. Internally squeezing through those thighs. We sink our seat for 5, 4, breathing for 3, 2, and for 1. Bring your hands to your heart and close your eyes if the body will allow. Notice everything happening here. The pace of your breath, maybe the pace of your heart. How is your body responding to that movement? Okay, inhale into the nose together. Exhale through the mouth. The hands will then meet your mat. We prepare here for crane or crow pose. Start to lift the hips, the knees will find your triceps, and then start to allow the body to rock forward into the arms. Maybe one foot, maybe both feet will lift. It does not matter where you are. But a couple of options for you guys today. Option 1 is for you to come and explore that crow pose just as I did. Option 2 will be for you to come into your crow to headstand. So if you have that headstand variation, you're more than welcome to transition. Option 3, if you're new to crow, I'm going to just work it through with you for a couple of moments. So if that's you and you're coming with me, feet are hip width apart. We sink right the way down to the backs of the heels. Spread your fingers as wide as they'll go. You're looking to find a big surface area with those hands. Hands to mat. Before we bring knees to triceps, we lift the hips high. So you're finding that lift rather than cranking everything into the backs of the wrists nice and low. We're elevating here. Knees find your triceps. And then start to very gently rock your weight forward into the arms. And maybe you start to squeeze one heel to bum. And that's how you take it today. And you alternate, one squeezing, one releasing. Maybe you catch a little air time between both feet. Or maybe you fly. I don't mind where you are. Hopefully you're all at home having an experiment. Maybe some of you have a softer floor than I do here. So be okay with falling and maybe put a cushion underneath your head if that's new for you, just as you start to figure out your way around your mat. We have about 5 breaths left to explore that space. And when you're ready, you might already be ready, which is also fine. You start to come down to your child's pose, guys. Knees wide. This time in your child's, your hands will find your heels. Slow everything down. What shifts are you noticing happening in the body? In your own time, over the next 10 counts, you're going to make your way back to your downward dog, please. No rush, you take your time. Steady as you go. And as you meet that downward dog, you might notice now after the legs have started to work for you, that actually it's nicer for you to take a bend in the knees. Sometimes as the muscles start to fatigue in the thighs, you may find it easier to lift the tailbone with that soft micro bend through the knees. Seal the lips now. Connect back with your rhythmic breath. We inhale together for 1. Slow breath through the nose. Inhale for 2. And exhale. Full breath for 3. And exhale. On the next breath in, right leg will sweep all the way to the sky. Keep the hips square, so don't allow that right hip to lift up and open. You're squaring hips for stability here. As you next inhale, the heel lifts a little higher. Exhale, we step the foot forward between the hands. Spin the back heel to the earth, cartwheel arms, warrior 2. Take your time to set up. You may need to play with your feet adjustment and the feet width. But when you get here, you want to notice a solid foundation happening through both feet, especially the outer corner of that left back foot. Breathing into right knee as it takes you a little softer. Allow the shoulders to be soft down your spine. Now you're off those arms. As you next inhale, flip the palm, reverse your warrior. Allow right hand to sweep long overhead to the sky. Some of you may find the bind with your back hand. Some of you may choose to rise to right toes. Allowing your breath to feed those intercostal muscles with breath. We inhale together. Exhale to release back to warrior 2. Now begin to straighten out your front leg. As you inhale, the hands will sweep long overhead to the sky. On the exhale, we take a deep bend into the right knee, Skandasana on the right side. And whilst you sit your seat low, your heart is elevating high. See if you can notice that left foot is rolling to the very back wall behind you. So we tend to often actually here externally rotate from the kneecap, so you want to avoid that. See if you can take that rotation right from the hip to the femur bone, externally rotating. Okay, find your breath here. Heart is high, shoulders are soft. Full breath in. On the exhale, keep the seat nice and low. We transfer our weight all the way across to meet the left foot. Notice that right foot then externally rotates right the way from the hip. Inhale together. Exhale, slowly transition across. Nice, guys. Inhaling together. Exhale, transfer. We take one more, keeping that seat low, heart high. Exhale, transfer. Gently bring the hands around to frame the front foot. Left hand grounds inside of the right foot. As you breathe in, the right hand will sweep long overhead to the sky. Find your easy twist. I want you to feel this balance of weight somewhere through the mid-body. So start to allow crown of the head to pull forward, back heel to drive back. Whole right external oblique is rotating to the wall behind you. Inhale together. And on the exhale, soften your back knee to your mat. Start to squeeze your left heel toward the sit bone. And when that heel will no longer lift any higher on its own, start to reach back with right hand. See if you can find the foot. For those of you that aren't quite there with the foot, I actually found a helpful prop of my dressing gown tie. I do not have a strap at home, it's very bad of me. We find that tie. If you need it, wrap it around the top of your foot, same way that your strap would be used, and start to squeeze the heel toward the sit bone. And for those of you that have a little more space, the left forearm, will start to soften to your mat. The whole time allowing right shoulder continuing to reach up, back, and down. Breathing together. Releasing through every bit of tension. Notice what your neck is doing. Can it be softer? Maybe you even allow the head to be fully heavy in space. Full breath in with me. On the exhale, release the back foot. Right hand will come inside of the right foot. And when you're here, guys, you have a couple of options depending on how this is feeling in your body. Option 1 is for you to stay exactly where you are. I like to roll onto the blade of the right foot, allow the inside of the foot to peel away. That's going to help you maybe, for some of you, to get a bit deeper into that hip space. Option 2 is to find your Spider-Man fingers or tentative fingertips and start to walk the hands as far forward as you can go. See if you can then start to find elongation through your neck and spine as your heart reaches closer to the front of your room. Otherwise, for the rest of you, maybe with more space, you can start to soften to your forearms. Nice. And as you're here, just allow the head to be soft. And check, you can all hear exactly what I'm doing. Beautiful, guys. Okay. Allow everything to be soft and heavy here. Even perhaps noticing how the muscles of your face are perhaps still tense and tight. Can you soften your jaw by parting your teeth and allowing everything to be a little more relaxed in the head? Okay, full breath in together. Open the mouth, sigh into your mat. From wherever you are, start to walk your hands back to where you started. Then tuck your back toes, lift your back knee, and start to shuffle that right foot back in between your hands. However you would like to get there, we're going to lift back to a 3-legged downward facing dog. Take a full bend in that right knee, roll the hip up, back, and open. For those of you that want to take this a little further, you may choose to flip right foot behind you and step to your wild thing. Otherwise, you stay with me here, squeezing heel to bum. Inhale together. Slowing the exhales. One more. And release. Wild thing, start to bring yourself back. Downward facing dog, guys. I want you just to soften the knees to the earth. Release the hands to your heels. Recentering here in your child's pose. Noticing how everything in the body is responding to every movement, every breath that you're making on your mats. When you're ready, downward facing dog. And again, noticing whether you need to take any small adjustments here, perhaps modifications, bends through the knees, but also watch if those movements are being encouraged by your mind or whether they are encouraged by your body. Often we think that we need to fidget in this space, and that is our mind telling us we need to be busy. Whereas if the movement is coming from a place of curiosity in your body, then you know that place is a little more genuine to move from. Okay, steadying yourself back as you next breathe in, left leg sweeps to the sky. Keep the hips square, flex the foot so the awareness sits in the back of the left leg. As you next breathe in, lift the heel higher. Exhale, step the foot between the hands, warrior two. The back heel spins to your mat. Maybe you choose to close the eyes. Put all focus into building that strong, solid foundation through the bottoms of your feet. Drishti, your focus is somewhere forward, perhaps over your front middle finger. As you next inhale, flip the palm, reverse. And just observing your tendencies, maybe to slip into your lower back here. Try to release. This is your side body opener. So less spine, more side body. External oblique. Inhale. Exhale as you release. We extend the front leg. On the breath in, sweep the hands all the way overhead to the sky. Exhale, we take a strong bend down into left knee. Right foot rotates all the way to the wall behind you. Full breath in together, heart lifts. Exhale as we transfer the seat all the way across to right leg. External rotation through the left leg as you hold. Full breath in. Exhale, we slowly transfer our weight. Full breath in, guys. On the exhale, we transfer. Imagine yourself moving like honey through space to slow yourself down. One more with me. Inhale. Exhale as you transfer. Releasing the hands to frame the front foot now. Right hand will ground on the inside of the left foot. As you breathe in, left hand sweeps long and open to the sky. And if you want, you allow that left hand to really draw as far back behind you, which may help you to find that deeper rotation through that left rib cage. Right rib cage is spinning under the body. Breathing in. And breathing out. Back knee softens to the earth. Begin to squeeze the right heel toward the sit bone. When it will not come any further by itself, then the left hand can connect to the foot. And you may choose here, if that's too much, again, to work perhaps with your dressing gown tie or strap if you have one at home, whatever it is you need. Maybe if you're comfortable here, you stay rolling left shoulder up. Maybe if there's a little more space to move, right forearm meets your mat. Allow the head to be heavy. No need to hold any form of tension in the face. Inhale together. Exhale, release the back foot. Left hand will come inside of the left foot. Now, options as you took them on the other side. If you're comfortable here, you can stay exactly where you are. Maybe rolling onto the blade of that left foot, allow inside of foot to peel away from your mat. Option 2, you rise onto your Spider-Man fingers and start to walk the hands all the way forward. Heart is reaching for the front of the room. And for those of you with even more space, you can start to soften down to your forearms. Allow the head to be soft. You may choose to pop a book or some alternative prop underneath your head to allow everything to get heavy. Observe how you can start to become softer in your approach to this space. I love to rock in and out of poses. I think it helps us just to release a little more into that space. So before you find your stillness, guys, you may choose just to move around a little bit. Notice if you're clenching the teeth. Full breath in. Long release. Very slowly, hands start to soften back to where you started, Tuck your back toes and lift the back knee. Shuffle left foot back in between the hands, low lunge. When you're ready to move in your own time, three-legged downward facing dog. Taking that full bend in the left knee, we squeeze left heel toward right sit bone. Take any adjustments you need. You might circle the knee, whatever you need here to bring a little space back into that left hip. Maybe wild thing if you're taking it there. Otherwise, whenever you're ready, we will meet back in a downward dog. From that downward dog, guys, inhale into the nose. Sigh loudly through the mouth. 2 more, inhale. Letting the weak go. 1 more full breath. Sigh it out. Take a bend in your knees now, look forward, no craning of the neck. Step, hop, or float yourself forward to a seat at the very top of your mat. The legs will extend long out in front of you. Flexing the feet, maybe so much so that your heels will lift from your mat. Start to sit yourself as tall as you can. Notice here the bandhas active to hold yourself strong and long in this space. Mula Bandha, your Mula Bandha is your pelvic floor lock, that pelvic lift. Uddiyana Bandha, upward flying belly lock to lift you higher through the center, those energetic locks. As you breathe in, the hands sweep high. On the exhale, hinging at your hips, rather than from your waist, start to offer the hands as far forward as they will go. Now, if you're like me with shorter hamstrings, you may actually choose this evening to take a restorative version of this pose. Just allow your hands to fall wherever they land. Head becomes heavy, shoulders release, caterpillar pose. For others that want a slightly more active stretch, you may choose to hold onto the feet. Allow the chest to be pulling toward the shins. Wherever you are, you're inhaling for space. Exhaling to move into space. One more inhale. Full breath out. Keeping the eyes closed and staying where you are. Over the next 10 counts, I want you to slowly soften yourself down onto your back. Move as slowly as you need. Nobody can see you, so it doesn't matter how slowly you take this. You may be here for a real long time, and that's okay. Feel the entire body start to peel down onto your mat. When you meet your spine, maybe you choose just to pull out any excess muscle, let's say, from underneath the glutes. And then start to squeeze your knees towards your chest. Allow lumbar spine, whole back body, to reconnect with your mat, probably for the first time, maybe today, maybe since you were even in bed. Allow it to reconnect. And then wrap right leg up on top of and in front of your left leg. Place the left foot back to your mat. Lift the hips and scooch the hips over to the right of your mat to allow space for the knees to fall over to the left. Supine twist. Allow the hands to be wide as much as they can alongside the body. Right shoulder is melting back to the earth. No excess strain here. If you notice that your knees are lifted from your mat, you may want to pop a cushion in that space. Allow yourself to be held. The breath is dancing through the ribs. Full breath in and release. Gently drawing yourself back to the center, unwrap the legs. Give the knees a soft squeeze at your chest as you recenter. Then we switch sides, left leg over right. Lifting the hips over to the left side of your mat now. Allow the knees to soften all the way to your right. Slowing everything down. Inhale and release. Slowly finding your center. Giving the knees one final squeeze as you unwrap them to your chest. You may choose to draw the head up to the kneecaps. Give yourself a nice big hug. Full breath in. As you exhale, start to re-extend the legs to the outer edges of your mat. Your hands will come wide. Take a moment to reshuffle, so you maybe again pull those muscles from the glutes. Allow shoulders to be wide. Be soft in this space as you allow eyes to close. Swallowing any excess saliva left in the mouth. Take a full breath into the nose. Open the mouth, sigh out. One more, inhale. Sigh out. And if you have a couple of extra moments to stay where you are, if you have the Friday evening isolation ahead, guys, you are more than welcome to stay on your mats. For those of you that want to close the practice with me, come to a comfortable seat, hands to hearts, and close the eyes. Just taking a moment to come back to any intention that you may have set. And beginning to offer the energy that you have created in your practice this evening, wherever you are. Begin to offer it up to your intention. Float the thumbs to the third eye center, the space between the eyebrows, as we honor the practice, but also honor our incredible physical bodies for being the vehicle to bring us back into today's present moment. Full breath into the nose. Sigh through the mouth. Together we say, I hear you all, namaste.